In a face-off between a domestic dog and a wild leopard, the leopard would be the favorite to take the victory. But these brave dogs standing their ground show us that anything is possible. This midnight visit gives one of the dogs time to walk away, confusing the leopard, while the other finishes waking up and reacts, going off to find a safer place. His only mistake was getting distracted for a second before the leopard surprises him from behind. Of course, we can't see exactly what happened after they went out of frame, but seconds later, the leopard tries to take him away through the same path he came in. That's when the dog stands firm, stops him, and tells him something like, "A hug is all I can offer. Better leave before I change my mind." With that bear hug, the leopard walks away more than satisfied. On a quiet night, this leopard saw the perfect opportunity to enter the property and catch one of the guard dogs off guard. Characteristic of its species, it enters stealthily, feeling out the territory, then jumps over the second wall to get inside. At this point, it realizes something and prefers to go back the way it came. Suddenly, a group of dogs appears on the scene, looking for the intruder to give him what he deserves. The leopard crouches, trying to be undetectable, but it's already entered the lion's den and can't avoid a head-on encounter with the group's leader. It uses the distance to jump the outer wall and avoid contact. Better not come back because they'll be waiting for him, and not exactly with open arms. This safari turned into a martial arts arena when a leopard tried to take a tourist's pet dog. A somersault forward was all the dog needed to make the leopard surrender, even though it was at home or in its natural habitat. The audience sides with the visitor. This leopard had the nerve to invade the property, facing 5 fierce guardians. And to top it off, underestimated their intelligence by lying on the ground belly up as a trap, hoping one would make a move so it could go for the jugular. But it'll have to come up with a better strategy if it wants to beat them. This dog lets the leopard, at least 3 times his size, catch up to him. His friend notices and comes to back him up, but upon seeing the huge leopard, prefers to go get back up, which end up not being needed, because even though we see the dog pinned to the ground and the leopard on top, he manages to shake him off, reversing the roles, and the hungry feline ends up running away. Another dog is caught from behind, but luckily, it's another martial artist who shakes the leopard off with a couple of bounces, making it back off once it sees his skills. Even if the leopard is taking it very seriously, for the dog, judging by how he wags his tail, it seems like just another fun day. That is, before they break apart. It's clear that for both, things got serious enough that they each preferred to return to their families. This guy captures the moment when the dog seems to have the leopard pinned in the ditch by the side of the road. The leopard may be injured or something like that. In that case, we can only hope the man did his job and alerted wildlife authorities to come and take care of it. Only the big size difference makes this an unfair battle, and on top of that, the dog has the disadvantage of being caught distracted. But even though he started off losing, he manages to turn things around, and after a good scuffle, the leopard surrenders. But the dog doesn't plan on letting him go that easily. This dog didn't even need to face the leopard. Just one look and a warning bark were enough to make the intruder leave and respect his territory. Even though it caught him by surprise while he was resting on the path, the dog notices just in time to prevent the leopard from trying anything from behind. And to make him go away, all he needed was a brief barking concert. The leopard, a bit confused by the unfamiliar noise, prefers to leave the area and avoid headaches. This leopard thought it was going to snatch an easy prey, but found none other than a fierce German shepherd ready to run him over. Here we have a couple of dogs doing their job and keeping the neighborhood safe. Suddenly, we see them move quickly to stay out of danger. A life lesson that could help a lot of people. Sometimes the best thing is to run or back off first and stay safe. In this case, the leopard approaches with all the patience in the world, avoiding making noise. But when he sees that his possible dinner is asleep, he jumps on him without wasting a second more. In this other shot, you can see that even though he's resting, he manages to detect him and reacts in time to face him. Just a few seconds were enough to stop the leopard, making it clear that if he comes back, he might not be so lucky next time. With no person around to do it, this dog had to take on the dirty work of wild babysitter, guarding the leopard that ended up trapped in a bathroom of a village house until rescue officials arrived. We see how the leopard wants nothing to do with the dog and keeps cornered in one spot. But when people try to film him, he reacts by snatching their phone. Finally, after 7 hours, they managed to make a hole in the roof and set up a couple of nets to rescue him and return him to his habitat. Of course, the dog received recognition for the tough job and a prize for being the only one fit for the task. Like in this clip, it's common to see how leopards prefer to make their visits at night or early morning when everyone's resting, so they can catch them off guard. Here, the shepherd sensed it coming from behind and was able to react, although that didn't prevent the fight, in which the dog defended himself, buying precious seconds. Apparently, the leopard heard movement inside the house and left him alone, making it a happy ending for everyone. Still, I wonder how some people leave their pets sleeping outside, although it's likely this was a stray dog spending the night in front of the house. Here you can clearly see this is not a stray dog sleeping in front of the house when a hungry leopard shows up looking for breakfast. He takes his time, exploring the area, before going in to sink his teeth into his possible prey. The powerful bite is more than enough to wake the dog, who reacts fiercely, tossing his opponent into the air and making him give up on trying to have him for breakfast. There are very few times when being behind bars makes you happy, and this is one of them. But behind bars and chained, that sounds a bit extreme, although for this dog, it turns out to be the best way to stay safe. Dogs are so smart that in a fraction of a second, they know when it's better to take a step back instead of wasting energy fighting against nature's law. He's humbly watching over the neighborhood when suddenly he senses an intruder in the distance. For now, he decides to step back a bit and alert his colleagues just in case. They manage to confuse him between the two, and he ends up with neither. Then, to seal their victory, they group up and charge him to remind him that united, they will never be defeated.